welcome back to my channel. If you have not already, make sure you have subscribed, turn the notification, show my videos some love so that they can be more visible to the algorithm and you'll get to see more of my face. So today we're going to actually get into the finale of Love is Blind, also with the reunion, because there are some things to discuss and get into. So let's start with the weddings, okay? So let's talk about the Browns. Now that was a wedding that really revigorates, and I think for people who are still looking for love, I think it can really make you feel like love is still out there. There are genuine people out there. Your person, your people are still out there, because if these two people who live in the same city were able to find genuine love, just genuine connection, I think it really gave people the feels. You might have been crying. It really makes you see that don't give up on your love story, that there really is somebody out there for you. So I want to know for anybody else who might be single, who is just securely in their single life but still looking for love, what feelings did it bring up for you? Did it make you feel like, okay, I still want to keep going, I still believe that my person is out there? Because a lot of my clients at times have told me that they have just given up, that the person out there for them doesn't exist, and so they just start thinking about, what is the rest of my life going to look like being single, because obviously I have not found this person yet and they're probably not out there. So what are your thoughts? Wedding was beautiful. We saw a little bit of, some cracks around the surface with Britt now when them pants didn't fit. And initially I wasn't sure how to feel about this scene. Was it a red flag? Was it just wedding jitters? And then I realized, oh yeah, this guy's a designer. Okay. He's very particular about his clothes. He designs shoes. He works for Nike. He's big up in Nike. So of course, like when something does not fit, it's going to bother him. Not only that, but it's also his wedding day. He wants things to be perfect. You only get one wedding day. And so people were saying how these are signs of a narcissist. It's a big red flag. And honestly, I think people really don't understand the word narcissist, the behaviors, the personality traits. Some people, not everybody. Because sometimes that word feels like it is very much a buzzword that people throw around and don't understand the context. And to label somebody as a narcissist, that can really hurt someone's character, their reputation. So at times, I feel like that word is very much thrown out there. Do I believe that this was a red flag? No. Do I believe that Brett is a narcissist? No. I don't believe any of that. I think it's just a person who really wants to have the perfect wedding day. You only get one wedding day. Now, was I surprised that he really drove back? He had production drive him back to the seamstress? Yes, I was surprised. But would it have been different if it was a woman feeling the same way about her bridal dress or her bridesmaid dresses? Would she be seen as a bridezilla? I want to know. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think? But they had a beautiful wedding. I loved how everyone on his side of the wedding had very natural hair. I love seeing natural hair. Me, I got my pineapple going tonight. But I really enjoyed that their people at their wedding was just very much rooting for them. And when they got to the reunion, let's talk about these technical difficulties, because I missed part of the reunion because of all this, like the drag out of like, when is it gonna start? Because I pay for a subscription, y'all going up on these prices, and I came and watch it. So I had to improvise. So I ended up just going on somebody's TikTok live and watching it there. But it's ridiculous that I pay for a subscription. Well, my husband pays for it. I enjoy it. And I could not enjoy it. The other people have technical difficulties. We're not able to watch it that evening that it came on, or you watching like a day or so later, whatever. But yeah, y'all need to get it together, period, if you want people to continue to pay these high prices. But I digress. At the reunion, they looked amazing. Tiffany in her white, her makeup was put together, because at the wedding, I often wonder what was the time frame between hair and makeup in all the weddings, because all the women didn't look the best. And so it makes me think that there was some kind of delay. Also, it raining too, having to have hair and makeup in that weather, the rain, it probably didn't look so good by the time they walked down the aisle. But, you know, at the reunion, they was looking spiffy. It was giving my man as a designer, and we are going to look good together. They look great. It's good to see that they're still together. Like we really had any doubts that they were still going to be together. Okay. They look great. Makeup, hair, just laid. Okay. His hair was cut. He got that fresh cut. And did y'all see his shoes? Okay. This is a man who I think probably always gets it right. Okay. I'd be surprised to see him in something terrible. So that was the Browns. Okay. Let's move on to Zach and Bliss. They look like they're living in bliss. Their wedding was beautiful. Watching the mom and the dad kind of, some people felt like trying to get the last word. I didn't see it like that. I saw it as her father was taken away from her moment, and her mother was trying to overcompensate and make up for her dad continuing to, you know, kind of make these negative, doubtful things. And Bliss has a lot of patience because she held it together. She like, all right, Dad. But she looked beautiful. When they were singing to each other at the end, when they were dancing, love really does exist out there. So don't give up. You might have to do some work on yourself, do some therapy, really figure out why are my relationships not working, because it's not always the other person. You have to look at how you have contributed to where you are also, and self-reflect on how have I gotten here? Why are my relationships not being successful? And a lot of people do not self-reflect, and so they just keep jumping into relationships, dating, serial dating, being on these apps, and not taking the time to think about, how am I contributing to where I am right now? Why is my dating life not being successful? Let me do some internalized work. So think about that. Now, moving back to the reunion with Zach and Bliss, it's good to see them together. Bliss was wearing that purple. That's her color. I really did enjoy how Zach stood up for Paul, because let's get into that. Now, it was very interesting how Irina was labeled a villain, but when it came to Micah, it's almost like it got flipped to Paul now being the villain. And I think, were they both wrong? Yes, they had things that were wrong between both of them, but it wasn't fair that I felt like Vanessa Lachey really picked who she was going to grill. Okay. And it seemed like they were trying to change the narrative about Paul. And do I think Paul is perfect? No. I don't think nobody is perfect. We all have our flaws. But the way they tried to villainize him for that comment, I enjoy how Zach was standing up for him, because there probably were a lot of things said behind the scenes that got left on the cutting room floor. They really need to make some kind of like, you know, never before seen episodes, kind of like they did with the Tangerine last season. But yeah, he got a raw deal. They were really trying to like railroad him into being like a bad person. And I just want to say that I feel like sometimes when it comes to dating, that people, sometimes the guy is just not into that. The guy is not that into you. It doesn't mean that he's a narcissist. It doesn't mean he had ulterior motives. It doesn't mean he didn't make you feel safe. Sometimes he's just not that into you. And I think that's hard to accept. So women have to label it as, well, he was a narcissist. He lied. And sometimes all these things really do happen. But I feel like sometimes, once again, people don't reflect upon, was the relationship really working? Or was it working in my mind more than what it was working actually in my life? Okay. Were the actions, the words matching what I felt like was happening? And since a lot of times people don't communicate and check in, one person is saying the relationship is really going this way, when sometimes it's going a whole separate way, but because people don't communicate, because they're scared about what the other person might think, or I want to have the conversation about becoming an official, but I don't want to say it and scare this person away, so I just don't say anything. A lot of those conversations need to happen, and you can't let fear keep you from having these conversations. So make sure you're having a conversation with your partner, whoever you're dating, about how you're feeling, because you don't want things to get twisted, the wrong things said or never said in a relationship. But going back to Micah and Paul, I had already known that they had dated after they broke up, because you know, social media, there are already photos out there of them being together after the show, so it wasn't a surprise to me. I do think it was probably the first time that she had seen him at the reunion, probably in a very long time though, because you could tell her emotions got the best of her. And sometimes I was wondering, was she treated better than Irina and Paul because she showed more emotion? I don't know, it just kind of felt like Vanessa really was like giving her a pat on the hand, where Paul was like, well, Paul, you really did say something very mean. And so yeah, he kind of became the villain. Did y'all notice that, or was it just me? Okay. So yeah, it was very interesting how they just twisted to make Paul more the villain and Micah the victim, when I really think she came there for TV. Her and the old girl just came there for TV. Now, Irvina had a better PR team in the beginning. Okay, I think they kind of prepared her for the reunion, but then, you know, that mouth will get you. Her mouth got her in a lot of trouble. So I think her and Micah will end up on other shows. And I just think they just weren't ready to get married. So let's move on to Chelsea and Kwame. Is it Kwame or Kwame? Did y'all see her apartment? I was like, oh, this girl got money. That's why he stayed, because she got money. That apartment had a panoramic view of the city. And did y'all see in her apartment how I feel like there were sprinklings once again of Kwame fitting into her story, fitting into her life. Now let me know, when you move in with somebody, do you want to move into their place, or do you want to find something together that you build together? Because I can see in the beginning, yes, move into someone's place, and then the lease ends, and then you build something together. But it kind of really felt like, once again, he fits into my story. His couch, his guitar. The man even has his bathroom in the office, okay? He very much neatly fit into her story. And so I want to learn more, hopefully in After the Altar, about how she fits into his family's culture. Because I know in African cultures, they really want their children to find people of the same origin, background, beliefs, traditions. And so it's a big thing culturally to find someone from the same background. So I'm very curious to learn more about how she, in her words, fit into his family for Thanksgiving. Do y'all really believe the story about the little girl saying that she was thankful for her auntie Chelsea? She was kind of laying on kind of thick. I don't know if I really believe that. I don't know if I really believe that he's really in love with her, or in love with what she can provide for him. Just like I think she's in love with the image of him. I think she probably is all in. Him, I still don't know if I really believe he's all in. I was quite surprised that they were still together. I was expecting them to not be together, so that was a surprise to me. I just don't know if I really believe it. What do y'all think? Do y'all believe that they're gonna make it? I don't think they're gonna make it. And then at the end, when she was saying those empowerment quotes, I was like, girl, you saying this, but your actions all season don't show female empowerment to me. I didn't believe it. I don't think the audience believed it. There was no applause. Did y'all notice the silence? And the last thing I want to touch on is, once again, Vanessa Lachey once again saying, when are y'all gonna have babies? Can we please leave people's uteruses alone, okay? And not put pressure on people to have kids so early. And also, that's their place. That's none of my business, okay? Let them build a foundation of a relationship. These people have probably only known each other for a year max. Why are we so rushed to put a baby on them? Okay, we have to stop putting our needs onto others. They may not want a baby. Let them just like enjoy being married. The show is finally over in some aspects. They can be public about their relationship. Let them slowly evolve into that. Okay. But what do you guys expect from After the Altar? Are you going to watch it? I don't know what they're really going to, like, what the drama is going to be, because two of the couples are very much in love. There probably will be drama with Chelsea and Kwame. But how are they going to, like, spin this into more episodes? I don't know. But don't give up on love. Work on yourself. Go to some therapy. Do some self-reflection before you just hop into a relationship. If you do the work, you will meet somebody. But you have to be willing to sacrifice and take time to do the work. So that's the end of this video. Make sure you like, subscribe. Any final thoughts about the reunion, let me know in the comments. I might have to do a separate video on Jackie and Josh. I just realized I didn't talk about them. So let's get into it for a second. So let's segue over to Josh, Jackie, and Marshall, okay? I wonder why they didn't come to the reunion, because I know that they get paid for these reunions, I'm guessing. Was the dragging not worth the check? I don't know. But I feel like Vanessa went very easy on them. Once again, picking and choosing who she's going to kind of drag across that barbecue grill. Because Marshall got invited to the cookout and he didn't realize he was going to be the main course. I felt like there were a lot of things that Jackie has said and done, those homophobic text messages that barely got brought up. It was more of Vanessa really picking at Marshall and, to me, trying to break him. Do I think that he made mistakes? Yes. The jawline comment was wrong, but she was wrong with all this text thread of her being homophobic with her friends. I'm not surprised that her and Josh have been together for over a year and have a dog. They are very much committed. They probably might get engaged the way that they're going. But yeah, I thought it was just very interesting how they didn't really like grill her like they grilled Marshall. And it seemed like every time they wanted him to go low, he's like, y'all, I'm staying up here. I'm not going low. And Vanessa's like, this is a TV show, so I'm gonna get you to go low. And he's just like, nah, sis, I'm not going low. So it was interesting that he dated another cast member, even though it would seem like it was just like one date. I think he really just wants to move on from the whole situation. His facial expressions, like, he has some facial expressions. Him and that guy from The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, like, they're cousins, and I see it now. I can't unsee it. Him and Justin being cousins, because the way that they have these facial expressions. I'm also wondering if Marshall is holding back because he's trying to save his story for maybe like a podcast or to be more lucrative. It was very much given that he wanted to say more but was holding back. I'm not sure if it's because he's trying to be classy or he's saving his story for somebody else. But yeah, I think that they were really trying to grill this man and he was not trying to go low. But that is Jackie and Josh. She says she's grown in the last year. he didn't really say much. I'm sure there's still more to come that we will get. So, but let me know, what are your thoughts about them being together? Would y'all be surprised if they got married? Are y'all rooting for them? Let me know in the comments.